when during the debate, when he was debating with Kamala Harris, and he started talking about that they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, and then they made that song about it, about him eating the dogs and eating the cats. Like, that was a true story. Well, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining another episode of Faith the Nation, where we dive into the realm of current events, news, and politics, and we put on our spiritual and biblical eyes so we can really see what's happening behind that veil. I'm your host, Deacon Alex. Be sure to smash that like button like you're smashing some idols. Hit that subscribe button. And if you like videos like this, be sure to hit that bell notification so you don't miss another video. Let's dive right into it. Well, what do we have here? The lamestream media. The lamestream media is in shambles right now, and they're beginning to ask the questions, what has happened? It's the New York Times. Frank Bruni admits that the mainstream media lost to Elon Musk and says much of the discourse now happens on X. So if you're not following on X, follow us on X. The link to that is in the description below. But this is what's happening, guys. Okay. And I believe that this is why the Lord actually led me to start this podcast called Faith the Nation, because when this election season was going on, I came across, it was like that God was beginning to download into me or tell me that that I needed to start this because there's a new shift that's happening. I believe we are really seeing the very beginnings of a paradigm shift where people are no longer getting their media from the likes of CNN, NBC, MSNBC, all these gaslighting news media sources. Because let's face it, all they did throughout this campaign and all they have been doing over the last, I don't even know how many years, but all they've been doing is lying to us. They've been gaslighting us. They've been telling you if you vote for a particular candidate, then you're a racist, misogynist, you're sexist. And I think that this election really is a rebuke to the left and to the lamestream media, because the American people had voted and they basically said to the lamestream media, we're not listening to you anymore. You're done. And so if you had been following, CNN and the mainstream media, then all you would have heard was lies, attacks toward a particular candidate. And 80% was for the Democratic Party. 80% of the good news was toward Kamala Harris. And when you have the elections, people were saying, especially MSNBC, CNN, NBC, they were all ABC. They were all pulling for Harris. I mean, we saw it in the debate with ABC when ABC held a debate with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. All they were doing was fact checking Donald Trump, and they didn't fact check Kamala Harris any bit at all. And we really saw the bias behind it. And most of America, I believe, saw the bias behind it. They weaponized the justice system, and all they did was, begin to tell you that Trump was a felon, and how can you vote for a felon, and all these gaslighting things. But since the election, now the lamestream media is beginning to question what exactly happened. I'm going to play this clip for you so you can actually hear a discussion that actually takes place between the New York Times' Frank Bruni, and this is on MSDNC.
You've always been sort of the leading edge of where media is going with Politico, now with Axios. You understand the environment so well. How do Democrats, and frankly, how does legacy media need to change the way it thinks about getting information? I mean, a lot of the voters who went out and voted for...
Notice they call it the legacy media, the mainstream media. And the legacy media is no longer the legacy media anymore. Listen in.
Donald Trump that so many people are wondering what happened here. They're not watching, frankly, this show. They're not reading the New York Times.
Yeah, we're not watching that show. We're not watching your show because all you do is lie to us. All you do is gaslight people. All you do is put people down because they have particular views.
They're not consuming media that way. And the Trump campaign found those voters where they live. So how do Democrats need to change the way they communicate to voters if you think that's part of the problem?
For sure. I mean, I think all of us have to come to grips with legacy media is just not as important as it thinks it is.
Yeah, of course you're not as important as you think you are. You're not. The American people are done. And what are they doing? They're going to podcasters, they're going to X, and they're going and they're listening to people that are actually going to tell people the truth. Because people don't like to be lied to. People don't like it. It's not fun. Nobody likes to be lied to. Nobody likes to be gaslit. And that's what the lamestream media did for the past 8 years, at least, if not even way longer. But you see, the thing is that we didn't have platforms like X. We didn't have platforms like YouTube. And all you needed to do was get a camera and some lights and a microphone, and bam, you're able to talk to people. And people, look, let's face it, people like people that are going to be real. People like people that are just going to tell you the truth, right? Nobody likes liars. Nobody likes liars. We know where liars go. You know where liars go. I know where liars go. And quite frankly, that's where the lamestream media is going. And this is interesting right here. The fake news inferno, MSNBC viewership craters after the Trump victory. The Morning Joe show is down 40%. Joyless Reed is down 55%. And Comcast is looking to spin off channel for potential sale. And you got to kind of wonder, is this an opportunity where you have Elon Musk come in and actually buy MSNBC like he did Twitter? That is a possibility. And, you know, when Elon bought X, what that did was that freed up a space where news and media and voices can go on without being shadow banned, where you can get on without being hit with censorship. And I mean, because that's what the mainstream media wanted to do. They wanted to censor you. You know, they did that. They've been doing that for years. And this is another one here where this analyst comes on and she talks about how millions of voters believe politicians that tells lies. And she's talking about Donald Trump, number one. But Donald Trump was actually the one that was telling the most truth. Look, I'm not saying that Donald Trump is a saint. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he, you know, every word that comes out of his mouth is all truth. But I can tell you that most of the things that he says is either true or he believes it to be true. You know, when during the debate, when he was debating with Kamala Harris, and he started talking about that they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, you know, and then they made that song about it, about him eating the dogs and eating the cats. Like, that was a true story. You know, ABC tried to fact check him and tell him, no, that was lies. And then everybody was talking about, oh, Donald Trump lied. And nobody's eating the dogs. Nobody's eating cats. No, they were. They actually were eating dogs and cats. They were killing pets. They were killing the ducks. They were walking around, cutting their heads off and walking the ducks back that they were getting at the park and walking them back to their house. That was happening in Ohio. That wasn't fake. But the lamestream media came in and tried to gaslight people and tell people you're being racist because you believe that, or because he's saying that. No, that was true. Haitians do that. Haitians, it's witchcraft. It's witchcraft practices. That's true. I'm not saying that all Haitians do that, but that's true. It does happen, and it was happening in Ohio. But let's listen to this clip here. As even now, after the election, CNN is still trying to gaslight people. And it's so. Let me just play this real
I
quick.
want to recognize that for all the flaws of the mainstream media, and we have a lot of them, it's not just the media's fault that trust has been declining for decades. It's also decades of attacks by politicians.
That is the main issue, is that, it could be that the Washington Post is endorsing candidates, or it could be that there are millions of voters who believe lying politicians who tell them lies. Knowing that they are.
Yeah. This is the gaslighting, knowing that they are lies, that millions of voters believe politicians that are telling them lies. No, it was you guys telling us lies, and millions of voters didn't believe your lies. In fact, the election is proof that the millions of American viewers are no longer watching your show. The lamestream media, number one, they lied to us for years. They said that Biden was fine for years, that he was okay. Oh, he's strong. He can run laps around, and no, nobody can keep up with Joe Biden. When we clearly saw him in a decline, when we clearly saw that his mental health was declining. We saw it, and you guys covered it up for years. For years. And when everyone knew he wasn't, you guys still covered it up. But, when it got exposed during the debate, what's happened to Joe? What's happened? Like, you guys think that we believe you? Like, now you're just barely finding out about it? No, we're not believing you. You're the one that's telling the lies. Just like you guys lied about the China flu. Just like you guys lied about getting that snake bite, that we were all supposed to fall into line, that everybody's supposed to do their part and get tapped. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys lied about Hunter Biden's laptop, and you said that it was Russian misinformation when it wound up being true. But you guys covered it up. You guys were the ones that were lying, saying it was a hoax. And we know where the liars go. We know where liars go. But you guys see this. This is the end result. This is what happens when you lie. This is what happens when you get caught lying. And you lied for years. And the American people are fed up. The American people stop watching you because all you do is gaslight and tell lies. And the American people have had enough. And this is the repercussions. There's a Bible verse that says, you reap what you sow. Now you're reaping what you have sown. CNN will axe top stars in layoffs. That'll see hundreds fired as ratings continue to tank. The lamestream media, legacy media, is dead. And in fact, it's been dead. But with the elections that have just taken place, it's now coming to the surface. And now it's hitting CNN, MSNBC right in the pocketbook. So where do we go? Where do we get our information from? Where do we get our truth from? Where do we get the news from? This is my promise to you. I will do everything in my power to get you the news, up to date, current events, politics, world news, what's happening in Israel, what's happening in Ukraine and all over. I will do the best I can to give you exactly what you're after, the truth. Truth, Jesus said, shall set you free. And I believe that we are entering into a new era where we, the people, are the media, where we, the people, bring you the news, where we, the people, bring you the truth. Well, thank you guys for watching. That's going to do it for this video. You guys know the deal. Make sure you repent and believe the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's the only way that you can be saved. Get discipled, baptized, filled with the Holy Spirit. But then, after that, it's time to rise up and faith the nation.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. 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 They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
And ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there had been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television said my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
The people on television said the dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about